everyone, and welcome back to Warren's Tea Talk. I hope you're really good today. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. But beating Spurs at home, or beating Spurs anywhere, whether it's home, away, whatever it is, it's always fucking brilliant. I absolutely love it. So yeah, big up to the players, big up to the manager. That's the first time you ever heard me give the manager some praise, but yeah, fair play to him for winning 3-1 today. Absolutely over the moon about it, and Xhaka scored as well apparently. I haven't seen the game yet. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it. There was some nonsense going on here that I had to deal with. I will be watching it later. So yeah, but we've got our match day live show today, as always. We'll be covering the 3:00 kickoffs in a minute. I'm going to go through all the lineups and formations with you. Anyway, guys, I hope you're well, and I hope you're having a really great day. And thank you for coming to watch the show. I'm really grateful for that. Honestly, I have got no idea why you'd want to do so, but fair play to you for doing it. It's a massive. I find it massively humbling. I really do. Anyway, just 2 seconds while I sort a few things out, and then we can get started on it. Let's get rid of that. This one, and right. Okie doke. So what we're going to pull that out and put that there. Yeah. So I was going to talk to you. One of the things I wanted to do was to talk to you about the match, this Arsenal Spurs game, but I haven't put it in because I was concentrating on getting the lineups and all that in, and I forgot to do it. So as usual, Warren fucks up. It's my trademark, really, I guess. But there you go. I think Del Boy Gunner is live at the minute as well. So feel free to make sure you go and pop and see him and say hello before 3:00 comes. If you want to do that, it's absolutely fine. We'll leave that down below and we'll go back to this. So let's go through it. Yeah, before we get started, I want to big up a few channels, a few guys who I really rate. We got Arsenal Alex, absolutely superb channel. I love Arsenal Alex. He's a top man. Very honest in his outlook about Arsenal, I believe, and always produces excellent content, and he's very snappy and with it. So, and I rate that. I really do. I think he's superb. The Aussie Gooner, mate, what can I say about this guy? He's a top fella. I count him now as a mate. I absolutely love the bloke. His content is on point. He's passionate about Arsenal. And yeah, I just want to call someone out as well. The other day, he was on the stream with this clown of a Spurs fan, right? He had the cheek on audacity to call the Aussie Gooner a fake fan, right? And had the audacity to ask him where he was from and what he was doing supporting Arsenal, because the guy comes from Sydney. Let me just say, what the fuck has where someone comes from got to do with about their eligibility to support a club? What an absolute load of bollocks. I'm sorry about the language, everyone, but I'm absolutely furious. I hate that nonsense. So, yeah, he better not come in here trying that with me, mate. I'm telling you, because I will bloody tell him what I think. Idiot. And, obviously he knows nothing about football and nothing about his club. So, it's an embarrassment. So Del Boy Gunner says, please hit the like button. Fair play, mate. Thank you, Del Boy. And yeah, make sure that you go and check out this fan cams because Del Boy's doing some. He's doing a stream to give everyone the chance to have their say about the Arsenal Spurs match. So fair play to him. Joanne says, "Hello, Warren. Hi, Joanne. I hope you're good. I hope you enjoyed the Arsenal Spurs match. My predictions for today," she says. Right, okay. So what's the predictions, Joanne? Bournemouth 1, Brentford 3. Fair play. Yeah, I can't say I disagree. I think Bournemouth are awful. I won't be surprised if they don't get relegated. Palace 1, Chelsea. Palace 2, Chelsea 1. Bloody hell, that's a bit bold. Yeah, I don't know. I think that might be a draw myself. But yeah, fair play to you. I think it's going to be a tricky game for Chelsea at Selhurst Park. And Fulham 2, Newcastle 1. That'd be interesting if that happened. Fulham had started really well this year, to be honest. And Newcastle have had lots of draws. So I reckon another one, might be a draw because they've only won 1. And I think they've drawn all the others or something crazy like that. So yeah, it's a bit crazy. Liverpool 2, Brighton 2. No, I think Liverpool are going to win. I think they're going to start returning to form. All their big players are coming back now. So I expect them to win that and then follow that up by beating Arsenal at the Emirates next week. Southampton 2, Everton 0. Yeah, probably. Fair play. I think that will happen. Lucas said, "Hey, Warren, when we having a chat, been contacting you on Twitter, mate." Yeah, I did see that, mate. Sorry, I've been really, really busy of late. I haven't meant to get back to you, and I promise I will. I'm really, really sorry. Do you have an Instagram account? Because I don't really go on Twitter that much. Because I prefer to chat through that, to be honest, because I just find Twitter really irritating. But I will DM you on Twitter. All right. Joanne says West Ham 1, Wolves 1. Yeah, that's an interesting one because neither of them have been that great this season, have they? So Lucas says, "Okay, I'll contact you there, mate." Thank you, Lucas. Nice to see you. And thanks to everyone in the chat for coming in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Anyway, so Diesel Arsenal. Yeah, Diesel is an absolute top fella. He honestly is. Please make sure you go and check out his channel. Listen, that fella's a top man. He's another one. He's really passionate about Arsenal and he knows his stuff about football. Let me tell you, he really, really does. So please go and check him out. And also make sure you go and check out that video I did on his channel the other night about the Apollo moon landing because it was wild. Yeah, I know the beginning was a bit crazy and it didn't really go the way I wanted it to. I don't know what happened, but it just got a bit messed up the first few seconds of it. But anyway, bear with it for about the first 10, 15 seconds. Then after that, it really goes to town. It's a great video. And yeah, Diesel, mate, I absolutely love the fella. I think he's superb. Del Boy Gunner TV. Now, Del Boy, I think at the moment is live. I think he's doing some fan cams on his channel. So go and check that out. And if you want to, before us kick off in about 15 minutes or so. Del Boy is an absolute top man. If you haven't subscribed to him already, make sure you do so. Go and put a like on his video. Tell him to say that Warren said hi and whatnot. Honestly, he's a top man and deserves all the support in the world. Arsenal, the history and more. That's Jez Collins' channel. And, mate, this guy's a lifelong Arsenal fan. And Arsenal has been in his family since the year dot. I think more or less since the club started, if I'm not wrong. And what he doesn't know about the club ain't worth knowing. And he does this brilliant channel, gets lots of guests on, and he talks about the history of the club. And, yeah, It is absolutely superb. I absolutely love it. Honestly, it's fantastic. Unfortunately, I'm not able to watch them all live, but if I can't watch them live, I always make a point of watching them on playback. So make sure you go and check Jezzy's channel out because it's superb. Gracie-Mae. Now, Gracie's a very young Arsenal fan, and she another one. She really knows her club. She's passionate about it, and it's been in her family for generations. All massive Arsenal supporters, and it goes back generation after generation after generation. And yeah, so please go and check her channel out and give her some support because, like I say, she speaks a lot of sense, and it really gives me a lot of hope when I see that someone as young as that has got the love of the club in her heart, and she doesn't take any nonsense. So fair play to her. NorthsideLdn, LDN. Now, I haven't really spoken to Northside directly. I've been in his chat a few times, but then he's another one who speaks absolute sense about this club. And he's a top man. I absolutely love watching his videos because, again, he's another one who's passionate. He's very young in comparison to this miserable old Get Me, right? And he knows his stuff. He really does. So make sure you go and check him out. The football capital. Now, the football capital, he's a Man United fan, and he's from Australia, Sydney, like the Aussie Gooner. And that's how I found out about him, through the Aussie Gooner. And he is passionate as well, and I rate that. And he likes all football. He talks sometimes about Australian soccer. I'm not going to say Australian football because you're probably going to think I'm talking about Aussie rules, but no, I'm talking about Australian soccer, and he does stuff like he did a show the other day about the fantasy Premier League, and he does stuff like previews of big games in the Premier League. He knows his stuff, man. I'm telling you. The only thing is he is a bit partial to a cigar. So don't be surprised if he don't start puffing on a cigar now and again. But fair play to him. No, he's a top man. And last but not least, the one and the only, the mighty Walsh Gunner. What an absolute top man this fella is. He's straight talking. There's no filters, and it's real talk only with Kyle. And he's mad passionate, and he's a lovely, lovely guy. So please, everyone, go and check out these guys' channels and subscribe to them if you haven't already, because I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Absolutely top people. So, yeah, today, the 12:30 kickoff, Arsenal beat Liverpool, Tottenham by 3-1. So, great result for Arsenal. This was the league table as of yesterday. I haven't been able to update it from today's game, obviously, because I was putting in the lineups for today's matches. So, but it is the table as of yesterday. Arsenal sitting top of the league, and they're now 4 points clear of Manchester City and Spurs, who are second and third respectively. So fair play. Let's see what happens today. So us Arsenal fans just sit back, put our feet up and enjoy it, because nothing's going to change for us. We're still going to be sat loud and proud at the top of the table. And then this is the games for today, the 3:00 games that we'll be looking at. AFC Bournemouth against Brentford, Crystal Palace against Chelsea, Fulham against Newcastle, Liverpool against Brighton and Hove Albion, and Southampton versus Everton. So before I get into the lineups and formations, let me just go through this. Where are we? Where did we get to? And James Dunlop says, "Afternoon, Warren. Congrats on North London derby. Well deserved win." Yeah, mate, I'm absolutely over the moon about it, as you can see. Oh dear, there's nothing sweeter than beating them, I'm telling you. Absolutely love it. Apart from Haaland, Gabriel Jesus is one of the signings of the season. He's been quality for Arsenal. He has, I have to say. I'm not 100% convinced that he's definitely the answer long term, but he's doing well at the moment, so I can't really grumble, to be honest. Credit where is due for Arteta. So far, he's doing well, but still too early in the season to make any kind of prediction. Exactly, that's what I think too, mate. To be completely honest with you. So let's get into the lineups and formations. So let's go back. So, Brentford, they've gone with Neto, Cook, Mepham, Lama, Solanke, Smith is captain, Tavernier, Moore, Sensini, Billing, and Zamora. And Brentford have gone with Raya, Aya, Jansen, who's captain, me, Henry, Janelle, Jensen, Baptiste, Damsgaard, Mbuemo, and Tony. And their lineups: Bournemouth are going for a 4-2-3-1. Brentford are going for a 4-3-3. Crystal Palace. Now, the Palace lineup is Guayata, Klein, Ward, Guaya, Mitchell, Olise, Doucouré, Eze, Ayew, Edouard, Zaha. The Chelsea lineup is Kepa, James, Thiago Silva, Fofana, Chilwell, Mount, Jorginho, Kovacic, Havertz, Aubameyang, and Sterling. The lineups for those two clubs: Palace are going for a 4-3-3, and Chelsea are going for a 3-5-2. Fulham against Newcastle. Fulham are going with our ex-Arsenal goalkeeper Bernd Leno, Mbabu, Tosin, Ream, who's captain, Kurzawa, Chalabar, Reed, Andreas, James, Mitrovic, and Decorva Reed. And then Newcastle are going for Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier is captain for Newcastle today, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Dean Byrne, Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock, Bruno Guimaraes, Miguel Almiron, Jacob Murphy, and Callum Wilson. And the Fulham and Newcastle formations: Fulham are going for a 4-2-3-1, and Newcastle are going for a 4-3-3. So Liverpool against Brighton. So Liverpool are gone with Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Carvalho, Salah, and Firmino. And Brighton are going with Sanchez, Webster, Dunk, March, McAllister, Trossard, Gross, Welbeck, ex-Arsenal, of course, Danny Welbeck, Casido, Estupinan, and Veltman. So there you go. And the formations for those two: Liverpool are going for a 4-3-3, and Brighton are going for a 3-4-2-1. So there you have it. And last but not least, we've got Southampton against Everton. And this will interest James, I'm sure. Southampton are going with Bazuna, Walker-Peters, Kaleta Carr, Bella Kotchap, Larios, Maitland-Niles, Ward-Prowse, who's captain, S. Armstrong, Aribo, Mara, and Adams. And Everton are going with Pickford, Coleman, who's captain, Tarkowski, Cody, Milenko, Iwobi, Onana, Garner, McNeil, Gray, and Malpai. So there you have it. And the lineups for Southampton and Everton are Southampton are going for a 4-2-3-1 and Everton are going for a 4-3-3. So there we have it. That's the lineups and the formations. Let's have a look what's going on in the chat. Arteta, Lucas says Arteta is doing a good job here. Will he there beyond the season? Or I hope not, mate, to be quite frank. I still don't rate him. I don't think he's good enough. And when the big games come against top opposition, I think he'll be found wanting. And the fact that he spent 400 million and been here for that length of time that he has, and we haven't managed to be in a title race once. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. And the way he treats people as well is absolutely shocking. Any other line of business, he would have been sacked. It's only because football seems to allow people to get away with that sort of behaviour. I'm telling you, any other line of business, and he would have been sacked for the way that he conducts himself and the way he treats people is absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't care what he does. It's not appropriate to behave like that. If I was being managed by him and he was behaving like that to me, I would put in a grievance procedure against him. 100%. James says 1-0 Brentford I've gone with for this game. Fair play, mate. I think Brentford will win as well. I'm not sure what the score's going to be, but Bournemouth are dreadful. I think they're going to go down. Palace won, Chelsea won, says James. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it will be a draw. Potter will find it a real battle at Sellers Park. Yeah, it's not an easy place to go and get a win. Fulham 1, Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. That must have been difficult for you, mate, predicting that one. So, yeah, Fulham 1, Newcastle 1. Yeah, I'd go along with that. And Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. I can't say that I disagree with you, mate. James, and Southampton 1, Everton 2. I think you're going to win there as well. I really do. I think you're going to have a better season this season than you did last. That must have been a horrendous nightmare for you, to be frank. I had the earlier game down for a 2-2 draw, but fair play to Arsenal. Yeah, we always beat them at home. Always. Well, now and again, there's been a few draws, but normally we hardly ever lose. I think we lost once in about 30-odd years at home to them. So it's no surprise, really. Anthony Gordon missed training yesterday, says James, as he wasn't feeling 100%. That's why McNeil is starting. He's happy that Pickford is back. Sad that Patterson got injured, but hopefully Coleman has a good game. Fair play, mate. I hope for your sake that he does. So let's see. What's the time? Oh, we just kicked off. So let's see what's going on in the afternoon kickoff. So the 3 o'clock kickoffs, I should say. What am I doing? Let me just turn my phone right down so in case I get any phone calls or whatnot, we don't get interrupted. Right, okay. So here we go. So there we go. And the games are kicked off and there's no goals at the moment. So it's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, Newcastle 0, and Liverpool 0, Brighton 0. And Southampton 0, Everton 0. And 3 minutes gone, most of the games. And Chelsea forward Raheem Sterling was offside as he runs on to Thiago Silva's ball over the top, and his volley is at the Palace keeper. Anyway, so the Blues are playing 4-2-3-1 at the start of the game. Yeah, we knew that. Southampton 0, Everton 0. A bright start for Everton as Alex Iwobi surges down the left wing. He crosses, but Amadou Onana can't do too much with it and loops up safely into the hands of home goalkeeper Gavin Bazuni. So, yeah, James, what do you think about Alex Iwobi? I saw you the other day. I think I saw you bigging him up, saying that you were quite impressed with him at the moment. So, yeah, fair play. Mad-looking tables so far. Liverpool are 12 points behind Arsenal. Mate, don't worry about that. That ain't staying like that. Honestly, as much as I'd love to see it, I can't see Arsenal finishing 12 points ahead of Liverpool. And there's been a goal. And trust me to open my mouth about Liverpool, and look what's happened. Look what's happened. Brighton have scored. Brighton have scored. It's Liverpool 0, Brighton 1 already. Just as I opened my mouth and I put my big size 13 feet in it, and it's Liverpool 0, Brighton 1. Let's have a see if we can see how that goal was scored. Goal went in after just 4 minutes, and it's scored by Trossard, and it was assisted by Danny Welbeck. Good old Danny Welbeck. I bet that goal went down well at Anfield. Let's see. So, yeah, goal. Liverpool 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Leandro Trossard, Brighton and Hove Albion, has a left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom right corner, and it was assisted by Danny Welbeck. There you go. So Brighton have the lead at Anfield. Oh, dear. So it's not started well for the Liverpool side at home to Brighton. So let's carry on. Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 0. Palace have had 93. Palace have had what? It says 9.3 possession so far. I'm not surprised it's that much. Jeez, that's shocking. Jesus. 9.3%. Wow. Mind you, game's only just started, so they've got time to improve themselves. So there you go. So there's something else coming in. What's happening there? And it's hit the woodwork at Newcastle game at Craven Cottage. Trouble for Newcastle. Joe Willock has been clattered on his right ankle in a strong challenge from Kevin Mababu of Fulham. Willock, after some treatment, is able to carry on though. Kieran Trippier takes the free kick from deep. It falls to Dan Burn, and his shot is pushed out by Burn Leno, and Callum Wilson then hits the post with the rebound. Fulham survive. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Bournemouth are still on the back foot as they defend successive corners. Ivan Toney wants a penalty as he feels his shirt is being tugged when the latest one is curled in. Not really sure that makes sense, but there you go. Bournemouth are still on top. Bournemouth are still on the back foot as they defend successive corners. Ivan Toney wants a penalty as he feels his shirt is being tugged when the latest one is curled in. Oh, okay, I get it. So, yeah, it sounds like Joe Willock got a bit of a kick in there. And it's been a goal, people. And now it's a red card. Wow, a red card.
That's it. You're off.
So, and that was Nathaniel Chalabar from Fulham. And there's been a goal. So it's Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 0. And let's go and find out about those two incidents. Let's first of all go to Selhurst Park to find out about the goal. And Ederson Edouard scores for Palace after 9 minutes to put them 1-0 up against Chelsea. So let's see if we can find out a little bit more about that one. So, yeah, the goal was scored by Edouard and it was assisted by Ayew in the 7th minute. And how was the goal scored? Let's see. So, Ederson Edouard has a left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the top left corner, and it was assisted by Jordan Ayew with a cross. So there you go. Sounds like it was a bit of a nice finish. So let's go back. To here. And Nathaniel Chalabar of Fulham has been sent off. So let's see if we can find out about that. What the hell happened? What did he get sent off for? Let's go and find out. So Fulham against Newcastle. Right, so there was a foul by Nathaniel Chalabar for them. Sean Longstaff, Newcastle United, wins a free kick in the attacking half. The VAR got involved, and the VAR decision was that the card should be upgraded for Nathaniel Chalabar of Fulham, and Nathaniel Chalabar was then shown the red card. So there you go. Not really a great lot of detail about what he did, but it was a VAR decision. So there you have it. A red card. A red card. So Fulham down to 10 men at home to Newcastle. It's going to be difficult now, I would have thought, for them. But still, you never know. But it's a long time to play. One man down against any opponent, whether it's home or away. It's a long time. Well, it's only 12 minutes gone. So, Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 0. It's almost 2-0. Eberechi Eze blasts one in from 20 yards, and Kepa does well to get down low and save it with one hand. The Chelsea keeper just about puts Wilfried Zaha off and doing something with the rebound. So there you go. And there's another goal. And there's another goal. And no surprise, it's come at Craven Cottage. And it's Fulham 0, Newcastle 1. And Callum Wilson has put the Magpies in front. So let's go and find out about that. So Callum Wilson, 3 minutes after Chalabar got sent off, he puts Newcastle in front. The goal was assisted by Joe Willock. So it sounds like Joe Willock's had quite an impact this afternoon already. So there you go. Callum Wilson puts Newcastle in front after 11 minutes. Let's see if we can find out more about the goal. So here we go. Callum Wilkinson, Newcastle United, takes a right-footed shot from very close range to the bottom right corner, assisted by Joe Willock. So there you have it. Newcastle are 1-0 up at Fulham after Fulham had a man sent off in the 8th minute. 13 minutes gone there. So let's get moving again. Let's get moving, people, and go to here. Let's have a quick roundup of the scores. So it's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, Newcastle United 1, Liverpool 0, Brighton and Albion 1, and finally Southampton 0, Everton 0. 15 minutes gone, and there's a lot of comments in the chat. People, I'm sorry about that. I've neglected the chat a bit. So last few minutes, there's been quite a lot of action though. James Dunlop, what a top man. He says, goal 1-0 Brighton. Wow, what a start. It has. It's been an amazing start. But I love this. What I love about this show, because there's always loads of madness. Always. And I love it. So, yeah, it's been a great start. And Iwobi has been excellent so far this season. I'm very pleased for the lad proving me and every Evertonian wrong. I'm pleased he's had a good start. And the thing for me about Iwobi when he was at Arsenal, whenever he went on international duty, he'd always smash it. I remember hearing about a game he played against Argentina, and he almost single-handedly destroyed them. I think Nigeria won it 4-1, and I think he absolutely run the show from start to finish. So I think he's always had a huge potential. I just don't think that successive coaches at Arsenal knew how to utilise him. So fair play to him. He's doing really well, and I'm really happy for the lad. And I don't think he was coached properly either. That's the problem as well. Jan Smith says Liverpool are rubbish. It was a formality beating Spurs today, and another formality next week. Well, you think we're going to beat Liverpool? I don't think so, Joanne. But fair play to you for your confidence. James won, unless you're going to put a spell on them, are you? 1-0 Palace. Edouard scores. Yeah, that's right. James Dunlop, Fulham down to 10 men. VAR given red card to Chalobah. Lee and Jess will be exposed as plastic. Okay, mate. Could do without that. Any more comments like that, mate, and I'm going to block you. You're a fake two and choose your side wisely. Right, okay. Let's prick. Could do without that nonsense. Sorry you had to see that. Fulham down to 10, mate. Yeah, we saw that. James Dunlop, 1-0 Newcastle. Yeah, exactly. Great start. And Grant McRoberts, hello, mate. How are you? Nice to see you. I hope you're well. Afternoon, Warren, he says. Yeah, hello to you too, mate. I hope you're good. James Dunlop, 2-0 Brighton. What is going on? Yeah, exactly. It's absolute 2-0 Brighton. Jesus, what is going on? Let's go and check that out. Hold on a minute, mate. And let's get that up. What am I doing? So it's Liverpool 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and Trossard has scored again in the 18th minute, and that goal was assisted by Marsh. And let's see. Goal, Liverpool 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Leandro Trossard, Brighton and Hove Albion, left-footed shot from left side of the box to the centre of the goal, assisted by Solly Marsh. There you go. Excellent. 2-0. So, excellent for Brighton. Not too good for Liverpool, though, I'd say. But what an amazing start at Anfield. The natives will be restless up there, that's for sure. So let's get on with it. And Gary Rose from BBC Sport at Anfield says, this is worrying so far from Liverpool. They are making poor mistakes and panicking as Brighton attack in numbers, and the Reds need to click into gear quickly. The hope for them is that Brighton have looked nervous at the back themselves sometimes, so chances will come, and the home side have to sharpen up at the back. So Gary Rowell then adds a wonderful second goal. Brighton fans are in dreamland, but once again, Roberto De Zerbi stays calm, turning away from goal as he scratches his ear. Jurgen Klopp has just called over Virgil van Dijk to pass on some instructions. The home side still need a huge improvement to get back into this. Carbon copy from Trossard, says Stephen Stone. Right, let's get back into these chats because there's still a few outstanding. Joanne Smith says, I'm not worried about Liverpool a bit. Wow, that is positive talk. I have to say, I don't know, man. I'm not sure that we're going to get anything out of that game. Mind you, they're losing 2-0 at home against Brighton, but our record against Liverpool in recent years is appalling. Liverpool are mediocre this year. Well, yeah, they're not doing well, but I'm sure that when they roll into the Emirates, it'll be a different kettle of fish. Grant McRoberts says, I'm buzzing after a fantastic result today. Just hope Motherwell turn up and do us a favour. Yeah, I think that's going to happen somewhere, Grant, sadly. But what do you think about Scotland getting promoted to the Nations League, like top tier? Because I'm telling you, mate, I'm absolutely buzzing about it. I think it's fantastic for the country, fantastic for the players and for Steve Clarke. Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing. Was it on that game against the Republic of Ireland? Was it on TV in Scotland, Grant? Because I was trying to find a stream to watch it and I couldn't find anything. And James, yeah, what do you think as well about Scotland? I know you're a big Scotland fan as well, James. So what did you think about Scotland getting promoted to the top tier of the Nations League? I just hope that when we go and play, I don't think we will. I was going to say, I hope we don't get embarrassed, but because the sides we're going to be going up against are proper hardcore, aren't they? But Steve Clarke, he's in his element when he has to do this sort of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see how he handles it and the way we play. Because I've noticed in recent games, I've heard that we've tended to come out of our shell a bit more in recent games. We've been playing 2 up front, I believe, and he's played a bit more on the front foot. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when we go in against teams have a higher standard than what we've been playing of late. But we'll see. We'll see. The Brighton manager, I haven't got a clue who he is at all, is having a dream debut as Premier League manager. Well, he is. He is. And there's been a yellow card. So we need to...
Your book, son.
So who got the yellow card? Palace striker Odsonne Edouard trips Wesley Fofana as the Chelsea defender goes past him and gets a yellow card to go with his goal. So there you go, a yellow card and a goal. Oh dear. VAR check over. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. The referee was called over to the pitch side monitor to check, but he stuck with his decision to award a penalty to Bournemouth. My goodness. There was a bit of confusion in the standards, as it looked like the referee had signalled for a penalty at first. In the standards? What is he? This guy talking. Does he mean the stands? Fucking hell. Honestly. Standard of bloody sports reporting in this country is absolutely shocking. It's not if 2-0 flatters Brighton, says Steve Stone. It's absolutely deserved for Brighton. Before Leandro Trossard's second goal, we counted 3 or 4 chances where they could have scored as well. It's not as if the 2-0 flatters them. Trent Alexander-Arnold whips a wicked cross from the right, and Fabio Carvalho is waiting to pounce before Joel Veltman gets it away at the back post. So there you go. James Dunlop, great win at Hearts, Grant. Yeah, it's good. It is good for them. More or less securing their second place in the Scottish Premier title race. Sorry, Grant. I don't mean to be giving you a bit of banter, but there you go. I can't resist it. Gracie-Mae says, big up, Warren. But big up to yourself, Gracie. I hope you're well. I hope everything's all right with you. I hope you're happy after today's result because, mate, I'm telling you, I'm absolutely buzzing. Let's have it right. Let's get this going. Way! Yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon. Beating them, for me, is nothing finer. I know that other fans don't really see them as our rivals anymore. It's more Chelsea and other clubs. But for me, Arsenal's big rivals are Spurs, obviously, Chelsea, and Manchester United. And, yeah, that's it for me. James Dunlop says, I'm over the moon. Scotland got promoted to League A. We are improving as a team, but still bits of work to be done. Steve Clarke has done a brilliant job. Hopefully we can compete against the top sides. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to see. And for me, the big thing that we need to do is find a killer of a goal scorer. I'm talking like top level striker. We need to find one from somewhere. And if I was the Scottish FA, I would be pushing hard for big investment in the development of young players and get some proper coaching in place. And I don't know if any of you know about something called futsal. It's massive in Eastern Europe, particularly in Croatia and countries of the former Yugoslav Republic. It's like a five-a-side football, but it's very much the emphasis is on developing techniques of players. I used to have a really good mate I used to work with who is a Serbian guy, and he used to go on at me all the time about futsal. And he's right. I saw some of the games, and they really are technical. and I don't think it costs a lot to get it up off the ground. And I think it's the way forward, and I think that's what we have to do. And like, I would, if it was me, I would try and get in someone like Slaven Bilic as an advisor to see what it is that the Croatians do, because honestly, you look at their team, right? Year after year after year, they produce high quality, technically gifted players. And there's only a small country the size of Ireland or Scotland, so how the hell are they doing it? How are they doing it? Because, they haven't. And I always hear people going, yeah, well, these countries that win the World Cup, they've got much bigger populations. It's got nothing to do with it. It hasn't. It's the coaching, and it needs to improve. For me, that's the big thing moving forward, that we develop the youth so that the young players coming through of a high technical ability. I don't think it would cost a lot of money to do it. Grant says, it was on Premier Sports. It was good that we got promoted, but we need to do it when it actually matters, and that is in the qualifiers and at tournaments. Missing Patterson is a blow, though. Well, yeah, it is. But in the long term, I think we need to look at how we develop players and coach players. I really do. I think that's the key to it, because we need to get a top level quality goal scorer. James Dollop said Liverpool defensively, if not that solid this season. They were there for the taking at times when we played in the derby. Yeah, but what I don't understand is why it's suddenly gone wrong for Liverpool. I just don't get it. I really don't. Mind you, I haven't seen a lot of Premiership football this season for obvious reasons, because of the enforced break I had to take, because of stuff that was going on in my personal life. But I'm not going to go into that. It's boring. But yeah, so I have to be honest. I haven't watched one match a day. I think I've seen about 3 live matches, and they were all Arsenal games. So I've got to watch the Arsenal Spurs game later if I can. If not, I'll be watching it tomorrow, and I'll see if I could be able to watch Match of the Day tonight and try and sort of start getting back into it, because I feel a bit of a fraud, really, like talking about. That's why I haven't done any sort of review shows and whatnot, because if I'm not watching the games, how can I sit here and talk about the games if I have not watched them? I just think it's a bit disrespectful of you lot, to be honest. Anyway, Gracie-Mae is very happy indeed. Yeah, come on, Gracie, give it to him, girl, and say hello to all your family for me. Give them all my love and tell them how happy I am, because I'm absolutely buzzing. You've probably never seen me so bloody happy after an Arsenal win, have you? Because it's been hard for me the last few years. But that, come on! I absolutely love it. Get in! Grant Roberts, we have played. We have to play on the P score at times. Good. It's really good. Grant, how old are you? I mean, don't mean to be. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. You don't have to give me exact age, but roughly how old are you? Because if you're still at school, that's interesting for me that they're doing it at school. I'm really pleased to hear that, because I think it's the future. We have to do it. Honestly, from what my mate was telling me, it's really widespread in all the countries of Eastern Europe, and particularly the former Yugoslav republics. They all play it. They do. And I'm just surprised that we haven't taken it on board. Because me and him, we looked into setting up a futsal school for people and in London. And yeah, we just never managed to get it off the ground for one reason or another. But yeah, he was a top lad. I absolutely loved Mikhailo. Top man. And yeah, lovely guy. He was one of these people, you know, you like come across people who are absolute diamonds. He was as gentle as they come, and he was just a lovely guy, and I really liked him. He was passionate about his football. When he was a youngster, he played for Red Star, and he was a big Red Star fan. He was a big fan of Vladimir Petrovic. For those of you, the older people in the chat, yeah, so big man. He was a top man. I absolutely loved him. I loved chatting about football to him. James says, if Southgate goes, who's ideal to replace him for the England job? Potter has just taken over at Chelsea, so that rules him out. Mikel Arteta. Joanne Smith, yeah, you got to be positive. Positive thoughts bring positive results. Yeah, exactly. Good bit of white magic. Grant says, I'm 27. Fair enough. So, Grant, do you know if they're still doing it in schools in Scotland? Because I really hope they are, because I think it's important. Joanne says 3-0 to Arsenal against Jesus. Blimey. If that, mate, I'm telling you, if we win 3-0, I'm putting a bet on the bookies that we're going to win the title. I'm telling you now. James Dunlop, 2-0 Newcastle now. Oh, my goodness. Let's... And there's been a couple of goals. So let's have another. Damn, get rid of that. What am I doing? Right, so here we go. So goal 0, Fulham 0, Newcastle United 2. A wonder goal from Miguel Almiron, so the BBC website says. And let's go to Craven Cottage and find out what the hell's going on. Hold on, no, what's this? Okay. So Almiron scored in the 33rd minute, and it was assisted by Gracie-Mae, and Newcastle look like they're firmly in control now at Fulham. 2-0 up. Let's see how they scored the goal. Miguel Almiron, Newcastle United, had a left-footed shot from the right side of the box to the top left corner, and it was assisted by Bruno Gracie-Mae. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I probably absolutely butchered it, to be frank. But still, there you go. Fair play to Newcastle. They're in control now at Craven Cottage. So I dare say that the Newcastle fans at Craven Cottage are singing loud and proud, as they always do. Fair play to them. So let's go to Anfield, because there's been a bit of drama at Anfield by the looks of it. So it's currently Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Firmino has pulled one back for Liverpool in the 33rd minute. The goal was assisted by Mo Salah in the 33rd minute. But I think there's a bit more happened than that. So let's have a look. Let's see what's been going on. In the 29th minute, Purvis Estupiñán got a booking. So
Your book, son.
there you go. It's a booking for that chap. Where is it? Booking for Purvis Estupiñán, and was shown a yellow card, a Brighton player. And goal, Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Roberto Firmino, right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the centre of the goal, assisted by Mo Salah. Goal awarded following a VAR review. So the VAR got involved. Obviously, there was a bit of controversy there, as there always tends to be with VAR. But Liverpool pulled one back. So there we go. And there's been another goal. There's another goal. And it's come at Selhurst Park, and it's now Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. There you go, man. What's going on here? What's this all about? Right, okay. Got rid of that nonsense. So Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. Let's go to Selhurst Park and find what's been going on. Oh, hold on. It's still saying 1-0. So what the hell's happening? Now they've updated it. So let's try again. Okay. Now it's 1-0. Now it's 1-1 again. What the hell are they doing? No, it's gone back to 1-0 and that's 1-1. What are they doing? And Aubameyang has scored for Chelsea. It was assisted by Thiago Silva in the 38th minute. So there you go. There you have it. Aubameyang has done the business. I think that's his first goal for Chelsea. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of Chelsea, right-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom left corner and assisted by Thiago Silva with a headed pass. So Aubameyang gets off the mark. He's up and running for Chelsea. So there you go. Fair play to Aubameyang. And he scored for Chelsea. So let's see. Let's see what's happening. There he goes. Confirmed. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang gets his first Chelsea goal, and it's a lovely strike. Thiago Silva, who is lucky still to be on the pitch, heads it to Aubameyang, who lets the ball bounce across his body before swivelling and a half volley into the bottom corner from 16 yards out. So there you go. Fair play to the guy. I'm really happy for him. Joanne Smith, Strictly Come Dancing tonight, Mr. Arsenal. Yeah, I'm not a Strictly fan. I won't be watching that, but I hope Tony does well. Liverpool have one back. VAR, it's 2-1 now, says James. Exactly. Fair play, mate. And the football capital's in. Fair play, mate. Thanks for coming in, Football Capital. Everyone, please, please, please go and check this guy's channel out. He's a top Man, even though he is a Man United fan, and he's a bit partial to the odd cigar. He has. He's put a cigar emoji in. Fair play to him. Fair play to you, mate. Now, everyone, go and check his channel out. He does stuff about the Premier League. He did a stream the other day about the fantasy Premier League, which was really cool. I really enjoyed that one. And also go and check out his he does at the beginning, before the season started, he was reviewing all the new kits for the season. That was great. He does stuff about football in general. He also does stuff about Australian football, not Australian rules football, but Australian soccer, which is really insightful and really interesting. So go and check him out. You won't regret it. He's a top man. And Grant McRoberts, I don't know if they still did it. When we futsal in school, it wasn't a big thing. It was just for fun. Most of the things we did was basketball, footy, and gymnastics. Yeah, see, that's what worries me. They need to take it more seriously. Also, bleep test and social dancing. Oh, God, no. James Donlop, Motherwell have gone level at Celtic 1-1 now. Oh, no, God. Fucking hell. Come on, Celtic. James Donlop says Chelsea 1-1. Chelsea scored. Someone called Aubameyang scored. Yeah, who is that Aubameyang fella? And Football Capital says Aubameyang. Yeah, mate. I know. And Newcastle 3-0 now. It's all gone wrong for Fulham. It certainly has. Let's go and check it out. See, this is the problem, isn't it, with the BBC website? They're a bit slow off the old mark because they're still saying it's still... and now it's updated now. And Sean Longstaff has banged one in a couple of minutes before half-time. Gives Newcastle a 3-goal lead. And, so it's Fulham 0, Newcastle United 3. And let's see if the BBC are saying what the goal what happened with the goal. Sean Longstaff of Newcastle United takes a right-footed shot from the right side of the 6-yard box to the centre of the goal following a corner. So fair play to Newcastle. They're well in control, and it's gone really badly wrong for Fulham this afternoon. So fair play to Newcastle. So let's have a quick roundup of the scores. It's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1, Fulham 0, Newcastle United 3, Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and Southampton 0, Everton 0. So let's see if we can have a look at the table and see how the table's panning out. Let's have a look. Arsenal are sat top, 4 points clear of Manchester City in second, although City do have a game in hand. Tottenham are in third, having played 8, and they've 17 points. Brighton are in fourth, 16 points. Football Capitals, Manchester United, have 2 games in hand on Arsenal and have 12 points. If they win those 2 games in hand, they'll be 3 points behind Arsenal, and they'll be in second, which is amazing considering where they were a few weeks ago. Newcastle currently 6th on 11 points. Chelsea are in 7th as it stands. So there you go. That's the table. Let's see who's down the bottom. Leicester are rooted to the bottom with 1 point. Nottingham Forest have got 4, and West Ham in 18th have got 4. So, yeah, I'd say Leicester need to start putting some points on the board, really. But there you have it. So that's the league table. And we're up to date with the scores. So James Donnup says, what is this James saying? Half time, Southampton 0, Everton 0. So, yeah, you haven't conceded yet, mate. So that's good. Hopefully in the second half, you can assert your authority on the game and get the winner. And I just have the feeling that you're going to perform better this year. I don't know why. That's what I think. I do. I think if you can sort of finish about halfway, that would be great. It just shows you what a great job that Don Carlo did when he was there, in my opinion. Let's have a quick look at this Arsenal-Tottenham result. Partey scored the first goal in the 20th minute. Gabriel Jesus got one in the 49th minute. And then Granit Xhaka got one in the 67th minute. And Harry Kane with a penalty. What a surprise. He always gets a bloody penalty against Arsenal. It's just fucking crazy, isn't it? Emerson Royale got off in the 62nd minute. And Ben White got an assist in the 20th minute for Thomas Partey's goal. And Martinelli assisted in the 67th minute. So Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. And I'm absolutely buzzing. And I'm telling you something, like I said a few minutes ago, if Arsenal beat Liverpool next weekend, I'm putting a bet on at the bookies that we're going to win the league. I am, honestly. I'm going to put a fiver on, all right, that Arsenal win the league. Just for the crack and see what happens. So let's see. Right, so the halftime whistle gone at Anfield. It's Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. It's Southampton 0, Everton 0 at the St Mary's Stadium. I nearly said the Dell. Jesus, I'm showing my age there. And it's Fulham 0, Newcastle United 3 at Craven Cottage. It's Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1 at Selhurst Park. And it's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0 at the what's Bournemouth's grounds called? I don't know. Whatever Bournemouth's grounds called, that it's 0-0 there between them and Brentford. So let's have a look at the match stats for these games. So Bournemouth against Brentford. That's first. Match stats. So Bournemouth have had 43% possession. Brentford 57%. Bournemouth have had 2 shots. Brentford have had 7. Bournemouth have had no shots on target, and Brentford have had 3. Just give me 2 secs. That's better. And corners, Bournemouth have had 2, Brentford have had 6, and Bournemouth have had 2 fouls and Brentford have had 5. So yeah, it looks well cool. If that you go by that, it looks like Brentford are on top. But it's 0-0 currently still. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. Let's have a quick look at that. Edouard scored in the 7th minute, Aubameyang in the 38th. Let's have a look at the match stat. So Palace have had 25% possession. Chelsea have had 75%. Palace have had 5 shots. Chelsea have had 8 shots on target. Palace have had 2. Chelsea have had 1. Corners is 3-1 in favour of Palace, and the foul count is 6-all. So there you go. So Chelsea are controlling the possession now, obviously. Fulham against Newcastle. Now this will be interesting. So Fulham are 3-0 down at home to Newcastle at half time. Chalobah got sent off in the 8th minute, so obviously that didn't help their cause. And then Callum Wilson scored in the 11th minute, Almiron in the 33rd minute, and Sean Longstaff in the 43rd minute. And then the match stats so far is 24% possession for Fulham, 76% for Newcastle. Fulham had no shots and Newcastle had 13. And obviously, because they've had no shots, they've had none on target either. And Newcastle have had 7. And Fulham have had no corners, and Newcastle had 4. And the foul count is 4-2 in favour of Fulham. So it looks like that Newcastle are absolutely battering Fulham. So I won't be surprised to see a few more goals in the second half for Newcastle if that continues. Liverpool against Brighton. Liverpool are trailing at home by 2-1, so that's a major shock. Firmino scored in the 33rd minute, and Trossard scored in the 4th minute and the 17th minute. The match stats are possession: Liverpool 54%, Brighton 46%, 9 shots for Liverpool, 4 for Brighton, 3 shots on target for Liverpool and 4 for Brighton. That's incredible. They've had every single shot they've had has been on target. That's incredible. Their corner count is 4-1 in favour of Liverpool, and the foul count is 5-4 to Brighton. So there you go. Let's move on, and let's go now down to the St Mary's stat. It's Southampton 0, Everton 0 at half time. And let's see what we've got here. So possession is 46% for Southampton, 54% for Everton. Southampton have had 5 shots, Everton have had 5. Southampton have had 1 shot, and Everton have had 2. Southampton have had 5 shots, and Everton have had 5 shots, and shots on target is 2-1 in favour of Everton. The corner count is 6-0 in favour of Everton, and the foul count is 6 to Southampton, 1 to Everton. So, yeah, it's looks a bit of a tight game there, to be honest, by looking at those stats. But having said that, the shot count is quite interesting. 5 apiece and 2-1 in favour of Everton. So there you go. But Everton have had a lot of corners, so in comparison to the Saints. So there we go. So let's go and look around the other grounds around the country in other leagues and see what's going on. So let's just have a quick roundup. So Heart of Midlothian 0, Rangers 4. That's a good win for Rangers, I have to say, unfortunately. Aberdeen 3, Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 1, Motherwell 1 at half time. Dundee United 0, St John 2, Ross County 0, Hibernian 0, and St Mirren 0, Livingston 0 in the Scottish Premiership. Dundee United, they look done and dusted already. I mean, that's not good, is it? I mean, they shipped 9 against Celtic at home. That's shocking. Norwich are 1-0 up at Blackpool. QPR 2-0 up at Bristol City. Coventry are 1-0 up at home to Middlesbrough. Reading 2-0 up at home to Huddersfield Town. Wigan 1-0 up away at Rotherham. And Swansea are 1-0 up away at West Brom. In the Women's League Cup, it ended Villa 1, Manchester United 1, and Villa won 4-3 on penalties. In League One, what have we got here? Bolton 1-0 up against Lincoln. Burton Albion are 1-0 up against Forest Green Rovers. Derby County are 1-0 up against Cambridge. And Charlton are losing 1-0 at home to Oxford United. Cheltenham Town are 1-0 at home, winning 1-0 at home to Shrewsbury. Ipswich are drawing 1-1 at home with Portsmouth. So I wonder if the Portsmouth fan have got the fella with the bell with them. In Portsmouth, whenever they play, they have this fella. I don't know if any of you've seen it. He rings his bell. Jeez, I wouldn't want to be standing next to him, I'm telling you. He rings his bell. Jesus. They're nutters. They really are absolute nutters. I used to know a fella from Portsmouth, and he hated Southampton fans. He used to call them scummers, and some of the things that he used to come out with were well dodgy. Yeah, I won't go into that, but yeah, he was a bit of a nutter. Peterborough are 2-0 up at Milton Keynes Dons, and Plymouth are 1-0 up against Wickham. And League Two, Colchester are 1-0 up at Wimbledon. Stevenage are 1-0 up at Crawley Town. Newport County are winning 2-0 at Leyton Orient. It's 1-1 between Rochdale and Doncaster Rovers, and and Salford City and Grimsby Town. Stockport County are 1-0 up against Walsall, and it's 1-0 between Tranmere and Barrow. So there you have it. So that's it. So let's get back, because the second half's just about to start. Let's get to the chat. The two standout games are Liverpool losing and Newcastle ripping Fulham apart so far. Absolutely agree with you, James. You're spot on, mate. That's why I love it when you come into the chat, because you know what you're talking about. Not that anyone else doesn't, but you just always provide little gems of absolute sense and stuff like that. So fair play to you, mate. The problem for both sides in the game at Southampton, this final ball hasn't been that great. But from what I've heard, we look a threat on their counter-attack. Yes, so hopefully they can make that count in the second half and put one of those chances when they come away. And Grant McRoberts is chat. He said, hope the Dundee United go down. I hate that club. Oh, dear. Poor Ricky Ross. I'm sure Ricky Ross won't be too happy to hear you say that. Yeah, it's a bit harsh. James Dunlop says, I'd be shocked if Dundee United survived this season. Well, after they got mauled 9-0 at home by Celtic, I mean, that is embarrassing. Right, so let's get back to it. Let's see what's what. So it's the second half started. And any of these games? No, it hasn't. So what's going on? Why haven't they started? It's 2 minutes past 4. None of the games are kicked off yet. Okay, so the Southampton game was kicked off, and it's still Southampton 0, Everton 0. And there's a big game tonight as well, 5:30, West Ham against Wolves. What do you all think about the West Ham Wolves game? Who do you think is going to win? I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I have to be honest. Yeah, I think I've lost a little bit of momentum. I mean, I think up until about halfway through the season last season, I thought they were doing fairly well. But I just think they struggle for goals, and I think they need to hit the reset button. Because I think they've got some good players, and I think the manager's fairly decent. But, yeah, it just doesn't seem to be working. Something's not quite right there at that club, I think. But who knows? Let's see what happens. Graham Roberts says West Ham 0, Wolves 0. Yeah, I can't say that I disagree with you, mate. West Ham 1-0 West Ham. I've gone for. Both managers are under pressure ahead of this game. Yeah, they are. And I still have a ton of respect for David Moyes, and I'd like to think he gets more time to turn things around. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think he's a good manager. I just think he's not quite got it for like top draw Premier League club. To me, he strikes me as being a bit dour. I think he's a bit negative as a coach. I don't think he gets his side to play on the front foot enough. And that's why I don't think it was the right choice for United to take him. Because United have got a certain way that they expect their teams to play, and I don't think he does that. I think, don't get me wrong, I think he's a good coach, and I like the fella. I mean, ex-Celtic man and all that. But no, I don't think for a top draw club he's ideal. I think he's better than Arteta. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he's got it in him. Unlike Watford, no surprise there. Bilic won't last long there. Yeah. See, I think I rate Bilic. I do. I just think I'd like the Scottish FA to take him on and have him in an advisory role and help them to like get grassroots football up and running properly, and put stuff in place so that we can start developing players properly. Because I think that's a massive problem in Scotland. I don't think we're good at producing young players. I don't, and particularly in the forward positions. For fuck's sake, 1-0 Southampton. Oh dear, James. I'm sorry, man. But let's go and check that out. So Aribo scores for Southampton in the 49th minute. It was assisted by Adams. Let's go and see what happened with that. So, a goal. Joe Aribo, left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom right corner, assisted by Shay Adams. There you go. So, Southampton get the first goal. The second half, it's Southampton 1, Everton 0. So, currently, Southampton are sitting in 14th place, and they're just below Everton on goal difference at the moment. Both clubs are on 8 points if it stays like that. But yeah, there you go. Southampton 1-0 up against Everton. So let's go back. Let's go and see what's going on, see what the news is. It's slid. Bournemouth Brentford 0. It's sliding behind the Bournemouth defence, but the flag is up immediately for offside as Brentford look to make a quick start after the break. There you go. And that, who said that? I don't know. It doesn't say really. But there you go. James Dunlop. Get in. 1-1. Connor Cody. So, there's a goal at Southampton. And it's Southampton 1, Everton 1. And let's go and find out about that one. So Connor Cody scores in the 52nd minute. The goal was assisted by Onana. So let's see how that goal was scored. Connor Cody, Everton, right-footed shot from very close range to the bottom left corner, assisted by Amadou Onana with a headed pass following a set-piece situation. There you go. So it looks like there was a free kick or something. And, sounds like the ball was floated in. He headed it, and then Connor Cody pounced and dispatched it. So Southampton 1, Everton 1 there at the St Mary's Stadium. So let's carry on. So Crystal Palace, hold on, let's see what's happened there. At Anfield, Leandro Trossard gets past Joel Matip on the left, but he's struggling to keep the ball in as it's pulled back and comfortably mopped up by Fabinho. And then Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1, finally back underway at Sellers Park, while other games have had 2 goals already. Well, exactly. But yeah, it's Palace 1, Chelsea 1 there. They're a bit slow getting restarted at Sellers Park, but finally they have. And going around the grounds is Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. It's Fulham 0, Newcastle 3, Liverpool 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and Southampton 1, Everton 2, and Everton have gone in the lead. There you go, James. What do you think about that, sir? And McNeil puts Everton 2-1 up, and Iwobi assisted that goal, and live text, let's see. A goal, Dwight McNeil, Everton, had a left-footed shot from a difficult angle on the left to give Everton a 2-1 lead at the St Mary's Stadium. And that now moves Everton up to 10th in the table. Wow. Well, that's a massive round there. And Southampton are down to 16th if it stays like that. So, Southampton 1, Everton 2. Let's go back to the chat and do. So, there you go. You must be absolutely buzzing, buddy. Come on, Everton, he says. And Dwight McNeil, you beauty. Yeah, there you go. He's done the business. Liverpool 2-2, says James. Oh, my goodness. It's kicking off again on the Saturday Matchday Live show. Let's go to Anfield and see what's going on. And there you go. No surprise there. The BBC website is slow off the mark as ever. What I'm going to do. Do you know what I'm going to do, people? I'm going to put the commentary from 5 Live on, but I'm going to put it on my phone and have the speakers plugged in. So that I can have that on in the background. Hold on a second while I sort that out, because I'm a bit perturbed about this website, to be quite honest. It's a bit frustrating, to say the least. Just give me a minute, guys. Sorry about this. Just trying to find my headphones. And I'm struggling to find them. So maybe we won't do that, because I don't want to spend ages and ages trying to bloody find the things and leave you lot just hanging there. Not like some other people would. We won't mention any names, but there you go. Oh, here they are. Found them. That is an absolute result. I'm absolutely delighted about that, because they've been missing for a couple of days. Missing in action, as they say. Not anymore. Your holiday is earphones. So it's, Liverpool 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And Firmino has scored a second goal for Liverpool at home to Brighton. The second goal was assisted by Diaz. So let's see if we can go and find out about that goal. Roberto Firmino, Liverpool, left-footed shot from the centre of the box to the bottom right corner, assisted by, Luis Diaz, following a fast break. So there you go. Sounds like Liverpool launched a really quick counter-attack, and they got their equaliser. So let's see how this game turns out now. See what's going on here. So it should have been the hat-trick for Firmino. It's crossed in from the right, but his header is straight at Robert Sanchez. Huge chance missed by the Liverpool striker. So there you have it. Liverpool starting to turn the screw, as they say. Brighton under pressure now after letting a 2-goal lead slip. Yeah, they will not be happy about that, that's for sure. It's at Anfield, it's Firmino 2, Trossard 2. Yeah, exactly, mate. So you don't see that very often, do you? All the goals scored in a game by 2 players. But fair play to them. Fair play to them. And big up to Brighton and Liverpool. And Jeff P says, will Aubameyang score again for Chelsea? I don't know, man. All I know is I think he's the player he was when he first came to Arsenal. I don't. But I do think he's still quality. And if he gets it inside the box, I think there's a high probability that it's ending up in the back of the net. So, and the thing is that I think that if Chelsea use him in the right way, I think they will get a lot of goals out of him. I really do. So fair play to him. And I hope he does well for him. I really do, because I like the lad. So as a person, I think he's decent. So I don't think he was treated particularly well by Arsenal. I don't believe all the nonsense that Arsenal come out with and the excuses that were given about as to why they got rid of him. I think it's all about Mikel Arteta as usual. So let's see. Right, let me get the radio working on this thing. Hmm. 2 seconds, guys, and then we'll get moving again. No, not that. We don't. No.
After the break, you're listening to Emily Sheffield on L.
Right. Okay. So I've got the. I'm listening to Radio 5's commentary on, and there's been another goal at Fulham. It's Fulham 0, Newcastle United 4 now. And let's go and look at that. Let's have a look at that. Miguel Almiron has scored for Newcastle now. So there you go. Goal for Newcastle. And let's see how they scored it. Fulham 0, Newcastle United 4. Miguel Almiron, Newcastle, left-footed shot from very close range to the top right corner, assisted by Joe Willock. So that's Joe Willock's second assist of the day. And it's now 3-2. I can tell you, it's now 3-2 at Anfield. Liverpool are taking the lead. According to 5 Live. And the commentary team on Radio 5 Live are saying it's been a very sloppy goal that's been conceded. And apparently it was an own goal. So there you go. Liverpool 2-0. Yes! Celtic now 2-1 up. So Liverpool 2-0 down and now 3-2 up. So it's Celtic 2, 1. It's all Liverpool according to Clinton Morrison on Soccer Saturday. So there you go. And Gunner is in the chat. How you doing, girl boy, mate? How you doing? I hope you're good. What's the crack? What's the bleeding story, Warren? Well, Liverpool were 2-0 down at home to Brighton, and now they're 3-2 up. So, you know, they've turned it around, and no surprise there. 4-0, James Dunlap. 4-0 Newcastle. That red card damaged Fulham. Yeah, Newcastle benefited from Fulham seeing a red card early in the game in the 8th minute, I think it was, and they've trounced Fulham, to be quite honest. Absolutely trounced them. Jeff P still only needs one chance to score in the box. Exactly, mate. He's deadly. And, yeah, that's what happens when you play him through the middle. You play him in a a goal scoring position and not bloody left wing back, that's what's going to happen. He will score against us. Of course he will, mate. And you watch what he does when he scores. I wouldn't mind betting that he don't go running over to Arteta and like knee slide in front of him. James Dunlop, thoughts on tomorrow's Manchester derby, Warren? The main question is, how do you stop Haaland? Not how to stop Man City. Mate, the thing is, even if they do stop him, they've got enough quality in that team for someone else to score. Do you know? But I don't think they will. I think City will win comfortably by 2 or 3. I really do. I don't rate that United side. I think Arsenal, if they'd been proper tactics and played at a higher tempo, they could have taken them at Old Trafford. I really do. I think we were way, way too slow in transition from defence into attack when we got possession of the ball. And we just allowed United to get players back behind the ball, and it made it easy for them. That's what I think. But I don't think that City will do that. But you never know. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Be an interesting game, all right, that's for sure. Got some good news for you, Warren. Yes, I know. Come on, the boys. 2-1 up at home to Motherwell. Fantastic. Jeffrey, all you have to do is watch Arteta on the touchline. The way he reacts, he's always out of proportion to what has happened. Mate, he's out of proportion on everything. I'm sorry, I don't rate the fella. I think he's clueless on lots of things. I just think he's very lucky. I don't think he's a good coach. I don't rate him. And I think the way he's treated players is absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry, but it is. Liverpool 3-2. The comeback is complete. There, man. So let's have some of this. Some of that. Have it! So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, I've been 2-0 down. Liverpool are now 3-2 up. What a comeback. And it's Webster who's got the goal for Liverpool, the young fella, 63rd. No, not Webster. Sorry, what am I talking about? Webster scores an own goal and gives Liverpool a 3-2 lead. Poor fella, he won't be happy about that. So Liverpool now leading by 3-0. Let's see how that goal was scored. So, yeah, there we go. Look, one own goal by Adam Webster, Brighton and Hove Albion. Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. That goal was conceded after Liverpool got a corner conceded by Joel Veltman. So there you have it. And Brighton have brought on a substitute. Kororu Mitoma replaces Pascal Gross. So, yeah, there we go. Liverpool 3-2 up. Everton still leading 2-1 at the Dell. Fulham trailing 4-0 at home to Newcastle. It's still Palace 1, Chelsea 1, Bournemouth 0. It's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0 at Bournemouth. So there we go. And let's see what the table's saying. Newcastle are up to 7th in the Premier League. Chelsea are slipped down to 11th as it stands. Fulham are in 9th. And Brentford are in 10th. Everton are still in 10th. So Everton are still in 11th. So they'll be happy with that. So let's see what happens. So 67 minutes gone. second half. So it's been an exciting afternoon. Let's have a look in the chat, see what's going on in the chat. And James says only Bournemouth goal is 20 minutes to go in all of the games. Yeah, exactly. And as usual, it's complete and utter chaos and mayhem all over the place. So fair play to them. Let's see what is happening. So, with 20 minutes left to play, it's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1, Fulham 0, Newcastle 4, Liverpool 3, Brighton 2, and Southampton 1, Everton 2. So I'd say that Newcastle are home and host. I really can't see them losing this game now, but you never know. Something mad could happen. But I think it's highly unlikely. Let's just go through these games. 0-0, as we said, at Bournemouth. Crystal Palace and Chelsea is 1-1. Edouard gave Palace the lead in the 7th minute, and then that goal was assisted by Ayew, and then Aubameyang equalised in the 38th minute, and that was assisted by Thiago Silva. And then Fulham against Newcastle. Chalobah got sent off in the 8th minute for Fulham, and Newcastle then went on to race into a 4-0 lead thanks to goals from Wilson in the 11th minute, Almiron in the 33rd and 57th minutes, and Sean Longstaff has got the 4th in the 43rd minute. And the goals were assisted by Joe Willock in the 11th and 57th minute, and one for Grimage in the 33rd minute. So there you go. Newcastle comfortable at Craven Cottage after that early sending off for Fulham. Liverpool 3-2 up at home to Brighton. Firmino scored in the 33rd minute, in the 54th minute, and then an own goal from Brighton's Webster in the 63rd minute following a corner has put Liverpool 3-2 up after they were 2-0 down, and Trossard scored Brighton's 2 goals. The goals were assisted for Liverpool in the 33rd and 54th minutes, and then Danny Welbeck assisted in the 4th, and Marsh got one in the 17th minute. So Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And finally, last but not least, is Southampton and Everton. Southampton took the lead in the 49th minute through Aribo. The goal was assisted by Che Adams, and then Connor Cody put Everton, equalised for Everton in the 52nd minute, and then McNeil 2 minutes later made it 2-1 in the 54th minute, and those goals were assisted by Onana for the first one and Iwobi in the 54th minute. So Everton leading 2-1 at the St Mary's Stadium. And so with that, let's go back to the chat. So let's see what, as the league stands so far, Newcastle climb up to 7th, a Conference League place, and Liverpool up to 5th. There you go. And Liverpool starting to get all their players back, so don't be surprised if this ain't the start of them kick-starting their season. Diego Costa is on the bench for Wolves today at West Ham. Wow. There you go. I bet you when he comes on, he causes some controversy. I bet you. And yeah, just want to say, everyone, please go and check out Del Boy Gunner TV's channel. Absolute top man. He's a great mate. Love the guy to bits. And yeah, he's got a great channel. And I believe he did a calling for people to come in and have their say about the Spurs Arsenal match. So yeah, please go and check that out, and please go out and check his channel. Subscribe to him if you haven't done so already, and put some comments in his chat. And when you go, if you haven't gone and seen his channel before, make sure you let him know that it was me that you told you to go and see him. And put loads of rat emojis in his chat as well. And put some tricolours in and say, put on it where it says "Up the Boys," but spell it BHOYS, and he'll know that it's me. I'm telling you, he will. And Jeff P says Klopp is a proper manager. He is. He knows what he's doing. He's done it all before. You know, he's quality, man. He really is. And I just wish we had a manager like that. You know, I want to see Arsenal win the Champions League, and I'm starting to worry that I'm ever going to see it. But yeah, he's an absolute legend of a manager, no doubt about it. So let's see what's going on with these games. Let's just refresh the page. So it's still Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. 14 minutes left to play. It's Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1, Fulham 0, Newcastle 4. Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, and it's Newcastle 1, Everton 2. So there you go. As usual, it was great afternoon's entertainment from the Premier League. Let's hope we have a fit, dramatic climax as we usually do on a Saturday afternoon. 10 minutes to go in all the games around the country. Yep, let's hope for some drama at the end. That'd be amazing. Let's go and see what's going on in north of the border in Scotland and see what's what. So it's Aberdeen 4, Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 2, Motherwell 1, and Furuhashi and Hatate give Celtic a 2-1 lead over Motherwell, whose goal came from an own goal from Juranovic in the 36th minute. So there you go. Aberdeen 4, Kilmarnock 1. Beshuen in the 22nd minute. Milasovsky in the 24th minute, a penalty, and then again in the 45th minute, and then Stewart in the 63rd minute, and a solitary response from Kilmarnock in the 27th minute to put the Dons 4-1 up at home. Dundee United losing still 2-0 at home to St Johnstone. Ross County losing 2-0 at home to Hibernian, and St Mirren winning 1-0 at home to Livingston. So there you have it. And Any standout scores there in the Championship? Let's have a look. I don't know really. But Blackburn are 2-1 up at home against Millwall. Blackpool are losing 1-0 at home to Norwich. Bristol City are losing 2-1 at home to QPR. Cardiff are losing 1-0 at home to Burnley. Coventry 1-0 up at home to Middlesbrough. Reading 3-0 up at home to Huddersfield. Rotherham losing 1-0 at home to Wigan. Sheffield United drawing 1-1 with Birmingham City at Bramall Lane. Sunderland drawing 0-0 with Preston North End. And West Brom are drawing 2-2 with Swansea City at home. So there you go. There you have it. James Dunlop says, Chelsea still can't find a goal to lead at Palace. Very tense game from what I've heard. It sounds it. I'd say they probably need to get 3 points in that. But there you go. I'm sure once your man Potter has got his methods over to Chelsea, they'll start firing. He strikes me as being quite a good coach. But you never know. I did find the appointment a bit weird. I thought they were going to go for a top draw proven manager. I'm not saying that he's not capable, but I was just a bit shocked. I thought it was too much of a jump for him to go there to start with. I think it would have been better if he'd gone to, before going to Chelsea, if he'd gone to a less club and then sort of moved in Chelsea once he'd maybe won a cup or something. And I'm not saying that he hasn't got the necessary credentials to do it, but I just think he lacks a bit of experience. I'm just surprised they didn't go with someone with a proven track record of success. That's all. So, yeah, with just over... How long is it going? Surely not. Yeah, about between... Depending what game you're looking at, it looks like it's between 5 and 11 minutes to play. 13 minutes at Crystal Palace. So Bournemouth with 11 minutes to play. It's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. At Selhurst Park, it's Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. 13 minutes left to play there. It's Fulham 0, Newcastle United 4. 12 minutes to play there. It's Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. 8 minutes to play there. And Southampton 1, Everton 2. 6 minutes to play there. So there you have it. Chelsea, okay, we've had that. Come on, you Blues, close to injury time, says James. And then Del Boy Gunner, Newcastle are doing well. Yeah, they're doing very well, mate. 4-0 up away at Fulham. But they did get given a big advantage very early in the game. So, oh my God, it's 3-3, Brighton, Liverpool. Oh my God. Trossard hat trick. Let's go and check that out then. Let's go. Hold on, guys. Yeah, here we go. The hat trick. Trossard scores again for Brighton in the 83rd minute. Let's see if we can find out what happened there. And Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 3. Leandro Trossard, Brighton and Hove Albion, left-footed shot from the centre of the box. And it's Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 3. My word, what can you say about it? What a dramatic afternoon at Anfield. Top man, James. You always give it to me before the BBC website does, mate. That's for sure. Delboy Gunner says, no way. Yeah, man. And what a game at Anfield. Yeah, the people who went to that game certainly got their money's worth, that's for sure. And Taib's in the chat. Hello, hi, Taib. How you doing, sir? Hi, Warren. I completely forgot to join the chat. Mate, it's all right. Doesn't matter. But welcome. I hope you're good. Not many people score a hat-trick. No. The opposition anyway. As few down the years have done it for Liverpool, but not playing against Liverpool. I can't remember the last time I saw someone scoring 3 against Liverpool at Anfield. That's for sure. James says, well done in the North London derby earlier, Delboy. And Delboy says, hi, Taib and James. And James says, hi, Taib. And Taib says, hi, Delboy. And Taib says, hi, James. James, Celtic down to 10 men. Callum McGregor got sent off. Well, what can you say? I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to get in trouble if I say anything. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not because I don't rate Callum McGregor. Let's just say, let's see. I'd like to see the credentials of the referee. Let's put it that way. So with Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, just over 7 minutes to play there. 4 minutes to play. Sorry, what am I talking about? Brentford 0, Bournemouth 0, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. 7 minutes to play there. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. 9 minutes left to play in that one. Fulham 0, Newcastle United 4. 6 minutes left to play with that one. 3, Brighton and 3. 4 minutes left to play there. And last but not least, Southampton 1, Everton 2. And it's up. We're into added on time now at the St Mary's Stadium. So let's wait and see what happens, guys. Grant McRoberts says, if we don't take a result against Liverpool on Tuesday, I'll be raging. Do you think you will? Real talk. Do you think that you can go and get a game, a result against Liverpool on Tuesday? Because I think they're going to be raging. I really do. I think they're going to be so angry. See what happens. But it'll be a great atmosphere. It's at Anfield, is it? Let's have a look, see where it's being played on Tuesday night. What am I doing? So let's have a look. Let's see where that game is being played on Tuesday night. Football, scores and fixtures. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, it's at Anfield, 8 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, if you get a result at Anfield, that would be a major surprise to me. I'm sorry, mate, but I just can't see that happening. I can't. Be good. It'd be good for Rangers, but honestly, I don't see it happening. I really don't. Taib says, Hi, Grant. Don't worry, mate. You could still win the league this season. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Taib. Jeff P. Do you think Royale's challenge was a red card? I ain't seen it, mate. I honestly, I said I haven't seen the match. I had some other issues I had to deal with, so I couldn't watch it. So I'm gonna, if I can't watch it tonight, I watched the highlights on the Arsenal website and the full match playback. As soon as they put it up, I'll watch it. But yeah, I wasn't able to watch the match, so unfortunately, I can't give you an answer to that. Their defence are there for the taking, Grant. They haven't looked great this season at all, says James. Grant McRoberts says that James Dunlop, that's the thing we like, handling teams' points. I'd say you get a lot of help from the referees as well, Grant. That's just my opinion. You won't get that in Europe, though. That's the thing. But we can only, but we can, but only if we play our game and don't switch off like we do most times. Well, I can't really comment about that because I haven't seen Rangers play this season. So, Delboy Gunner says, I'm going to the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Really looking forward to it now. Yeah, fair play. I hope they put in the performance for you, mate. I'm worried that they're going to freeze. I really am. And that they're bottle it. I'm really concerned about it. Because the thing is, down the years, whenever we play Tottenham, the next game is always like after the Lord Mayor's show and we don't put in a performance. It's always happened year after year after year. You go in and put a great performance against Tottenham and the next game it just all falls flat. So don't be surprised if it happens. Jeff P says Lampard's doing okay. I thought Everton would be worse under him. Yeah, I have to say I don't rate Lampard, but fair play to him. He's doing quite a good job at Everton. I'm quite surprised, to be quite frank. I honestly didn't think he had it in him, but can't complain, really. He's doing a good job. James Dunlop says we can only see what happens this week, Grant. If it was at Ibrox, and I think you'd beat them. Blimey. Me too, Jeff, says Delboy Gunner. Fulham have a goal 4-1 now. Wow. Let's go and check that out. Come on, guys. Let's go. Stop all this Rangers talk. I'm only joking, Grant. I'm only joking, mate. I do wish you well. I hope. Are you going to the game at Anfield by any chance? If you are, I hope you have a good time because it's going to be an incredible atmosphere, that's for sure. Yeah, so it's now Fulham 1, Newcastle United 4, and the goal was scored for Fulham from the Cordova Reed in the 88th minute, and that was assisted by Cabano in the 88th minute. Let's see how the goal was scored. And goal, Newcastle 4, Fulham 1, Bobby de Cordova Reed. A header from very close to bottom left corner, assisted by Neeskens. Johan Neeskens, my word, there you go. It's a blast from the past. No, I'm joking. It's Neeskens Cabano with a cross. Maybe that guy's dad was a big Holland fan from the 70s. They used to have this midfield player, striker, or certainly a forward player called Johan Neeskens, and he was fucking shit hot. I'm telling you, he was superb. Go and check him out on YouTube and see some of the things that he did. He was absolute quality, that fella. So we need to do this, don't we? Fulham pulled a goal back. It's 4-1 against Newcastle. I think it's a bit late in the day for them to launch a remarkable comeback, but you never know. Let's just see what happens. And right, let's go back to the chat. Del Boy Gunner said, James, are you Lampard out? I'll let James answer that question because I think I know what he's going to say. But James says, I'm not Del Boy. I'm still backing him. And Del Boy Gunner TV says, fair play. I reckon Everton needs to settle down with managers. I think I'm right in saying that James thinks the owners need to be held to account because the way they've handled the club has been absolutely shocking. Taib says, Warren, if you could choose one Italian player in the 90s, who would you have liked at Arsenal? Who would it have been? The Divine Ponytail all day long. Absolute fucking top quality player. Watching that guy play was divine. It was like watching poetry in motion. He was absolutely superb. The only problem is I can't remember his name. I know his nickname was the Divine Ponytail. And I can see him in my mind's eye, but I just can't remember what his name was. He was absolute genius. Grant McRoberts. I'm not going down to the game. Well, I hope you enjoy it anyway. Chelsea 2-1, Conor Gallagher. Oh, my God. You couldn't write a script for it, could you? Let's go and check that out. Let's go and check that out. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2, and Gallagher scores in the last minute of normal time, and it was assisted by Christian Pulisic, and let's see scored. But Conor Gallagher scoring against the side that he was on loan at last season, and he'll be absolutely delighted with that, I'm sure. Right-footed shot from outside the box to the top right corner, assisted by Christian Pulisic. Puts Chelsea 2-1 up in the last minute of normal time. So we need this. So most of the games have actually finished now. So let's just go through the full-time scores and then we'll go back to the chat. It's finished Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. It's currently Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. They're in the 3rd minute of added on time there. It's Fulham 1, Newcastle United 4, and it's finished there. It's finished Liverpool 3, Brighton 3. The punters at Anfield certainly got their money's worth this afternoon, that's for sure. And it's Southampton 1, Everton 2, and that one's finished too. Palace and Crystal Palace and Chelsea still playing at Sellers Park, so we'll see how that finishes up. But let's go back to the chat. James Dunlop, 3 huge points. It is absolutely. And James Dunlop says Brighton get a point at Anfield. Yeah, it's massive. But they did last year as well, didn't they? Didn't they get a 2-2 draw last year? Liverpool are 11 points off the top. Del Boy Gunner, great result at Anfield. It is a great result for them. Fair play to them. Roberto Baggio says Del Boy, yeah, what a player he was. Imagine him and Dennis Bergkamp playing in the same team. Jesus. It would have been unbelievable. Because they're both similar players. But, Jesus, the two of them would have been unreal. Taib Hussein says Roberto Baggio. Yeah, quality player. I thought, given how long Mashiri was trying to get in at Arsenal, he'd have made more of a strategy for Everton, but he doesn't seem to have a clue. Well, yeah, there you go. We bloody missed a bullet there, that's for sure. 100%, Jeff. And I agree with Del Boy, 100%, mate. Everton up to 11th, not bad. Yeah, I'm happy for you, mate, because last year that must have been awful. Cheers, Warren. I need to go. Great stream, mate. Take care. Come on, you Everton. Fair play. Thank you very much for joining, James. I really enjoyed having you in the chat as usual. It's been superb. Go and have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing, mate. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Big up everyone in the chat, says James. And it's finished at Selhurst Park. It's finished by the looks of it. Let's see. Yeah, it's finished. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. Chelsea grabbed the winner in the dying embers of the game. So Chelsea getting a huge 3 points there. So let's have a look at the league table as it stands. So Arsenal are sitting proud and loud and proud at the top with 21 points. Second are Manchester City with 17. Third are Tottenham with 17. Fourth are Brighton with 14. Fifth are Chelsea with 13. Sixth are Manchester United with 12. Newcastle are sitting in 7th with 11. Fulham are sat 8th with 11. Liverpool are 9th with 10 points. Brentford are 10th with 10 points. Everton are in 11th with 10 points, equal on points with their city rivals Liverpool. Bournemouth are sat 12th with 9 points. Leeds are sat 13th with 8. 14th are Aston Villa with 7. Southampton are 15th with 7. 16th are Crystal Palace with 6. 17th are Wolves with 6. And then the bottom 3 is 18th are West Ham with 4. 19th are Notts Forest with 4. And 20th are Leicester City with 1. So there you go. There you have it. That's the Premier League table. And the scores, let's just run down the scores again. So earlier today, the lunchtime kickoff, it ended Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Yes, get in! And then AFC Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2, Fulham 1, Newcastle United 4, and Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Southampton 1, Everton 2. So let's have a quick roundup of the scores from the Championship. And the Scottish Premiership, it finished Heart of Midlothian 0, Rangers 4, Aberdeen 4, Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 2, Motherwell 1, Dundee United 1, St Johnstone 2, Ross County 0, Hibernian 2, St Mirren 2, Livingston 1, and in the Championship, it was Blackburn Rovers 2, Millwall 1. Blackpool 0, Norwich City 1, Bristol City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 2, Cardiff City 1, Burnley 1, Coventry City 1, Middlesbrough 0, Reading 3, Huddersfield Town 1, Rotherham United 0, Wigan Athletic 2, Sheffield United 1, Birmingham 1, Sunderland 0, Preston North End 0. And finally, last but not least, West Bromwich Albion 2, Swansea City 3. And in the FA Women's League Cup, it ended Aston Villa 1, Manchester United 1. And Villa won on penalties by 4 goals to 3. So there you go. There you have it, guys. And that is the end of today's show. couple more chats here. Big up, James, says Jeff P. What's going on at Liverpool? It ended 3-3, Jeff. So big result there for Brighton. Fair play to them. So yeah, that's the end of the show today. I hope you've all really enjoyed it. Thank everyone in the chat for coming in and joining in with the fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was superb. There's always loads of drama with this show. I hope you had a great time, and I'll be back again with this next Saturday. I might try and see if I can do one or maybe 2 shows this week, but I want to do I don't know, I'll have to think about what I'm going to do, but hopefully I can do a couple of shows this week about different things, but we'll see. So make sure you keep your notification bells switched on, and if I do a show, then obviously you'll find out that way. I'll also advertise it on Instagram. So yeah, make sure you keep your eyes on that. And as I always say, please look after yourselves and all your loved ones and your family and friends. And have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Thanks very much. I'm really, really grateful that you do. I have no idea why you do come in and watch it, but thanks very much for doing so. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks a lot, guys, and take care of yourselves. Share some love and kindness around the world, and yeah, big up you Gunners. Come on, Arsenal. And thanks very much. Take care, everyone. Be good, and I'll speak to you all soon. God bless. Take care. I love you lots. Take care. Bye for now.